Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Devin. I'm the recruitment manager here at Boldly. And today I am talking with one of our new team members. We're here for Inside Boldly to get an inside look at working as a Boldly team member, what it's like getting started. We have Angie Owens with us today. Welcome, Angie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. I love chatting with new team members, and I'm so excited to hear everything that you have to say. I know a lot of people are interested in the things that you're going to share. So let's just get us started. You guys, I want to introduce Angie to you. She is a military spouse. She's also a mom, and she has been with Boldly for a few months now. So she's got lots of good information. Angie, can you share with us just a little bit about your background and how you heard about Boldly?
Absolutely. So like Devin, like you said, I am a military wife of 15 years, and currently home for us is in Augusta, Georgia. We have a 14-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter. And over the past 15 years, I think we've moved right around 9 times. So you can imagine the challenges that come along with moving and trying to maintain any type of career. And so it looked like when we got to Georgia, it looked like we were going to be here for a minute. And so I thought, oh, this is a great time to maybe refocus on my career. And so I kind of started looking into options and, naturally just gravitated towards a traditional 9 to 5. And it seemed like every time I looked or saw an availability, my husband would have some type of crazy work trip or be assigned overseas for a length of time. And then always in the back of my mind, there was like, oh, but what if we get orders? And so it was very apparent very quickly that I needed something flexible. And I kept hearing like people talk about remote work, and I honestly had no idea where to begin with something like that. And so started looking, trying to figure out what companies were legit and what were scams, were not scams. And I stumbled across a Facebook page called VertForce, and they're an incredible team that works primarily with military spouses, and they work to kind of as a liaison and highlight companies that are extremely military friendly. And so I saw Boldly pop up, and I instantly hopped over to the website page, and honestly became a bit of a stalker for a little bit, and I read every word, I watched every video, followed everything on social media. And I kept thinking, oh my goodness, this is perfect. And then of course started thinking it's too good to be true. Like there's no way this can be this great. But consistently there was a presence on VertForce, and after a while I realized, hold on, this is a legit company, it's a legit opportunity, and I think it's something I need to look into.
Well, we're so glad that you did choose to join us and that you found us on VertForce. We're actually really close with them, so that's cool to hear that you found us that way. So can you share with us a little bit about what the application process was like? Because we know that it's a lengthy process and people are always asking us questions about it.
Well, and I do, and especially working in remote situations, I completely understand and respect the thorough process, the application process. It's crucial in this type of environment. So once I submitted an application, within a very, very short amount of time, received an email confirmation. And that email basically lined out everything to expect from that point forward, which for me was fantastic to see everything just laid out for me. And the detailed emails did continue after every step. And so I knew exactly what was expected, what the next step was. After the application process, one of the first tasks was to complete a kind of an online skills test. And then after that, moved into the interviewing process. So the interviewing process were 3 interviews. The first was a recorded, I think, 6-question interview. But it was great. There's a pre-test before, so I felt confident and successful before even going into the actual recording of that interview. And then I met with human resources, and then the final interview was with Sandra Lewis, the CEO. And then after that, after the 3 interviews, basically we wrapped things up with a thorough reference check and then background check. But again, I was highly informed throughout the entire process.
Yeah, that's so great to hear you say that, because one of the things that we really try to work hard on is being transparent as a company. So just knowing that you felt that you always knew what was going on, that really means a lot.
Absolutely.
onboarding. Let's talk about that for a second. You went through the application process. What's onboarding like? People always want to know what onboarding is like. And for those who are listening, it is a paid onboarding. Can you share what that was like for you and what you did?
So my background, I have a lot of experience in human resources. So I do understand the importance of a successful onboarding plan. But also in my experience, typically an onboarding looked like a 1 or 2 day training, and then you were sent off to your supervisor and jumped right into your job. And that works for some companies, but I feel like Boldly has taken it an extra, like top notch, an extra step above that. So the onboarding process was, I feel like about a 2-week process. And it was not just the first 2 weeks though, it's carried through. I'm like the bulk meat and potatoes were at the very beginning, but then there's been consistency in the onboarding process, even, months into it now. As far as the actual onboarding itself, I feel like, well, there was a variety of techniques. So we had videos, we had assigned tasks, we met with human resources, we met with our team lead. Like we were basically set up with everything that we needed, but it was in bite-sized pieces too. So it wasn't just an overwhelmed 1 or 2 day, like 8 hours a day of onboarding. It was spread out into bite-sized pieces. So it was much easier to retain, and we have reference to be able to go back and watch videos or have access to all the tools that we had during that process. During that, we also, I learned how and what to expect when meeting with my first client, or any client for that matter. And so not only did we talk about it and see videos, but there was an actual mock scenario, which was just crazy because it felt like, oh, this is very real. And so that was an incredible tool in setting up, how to move forward and how to interact with our potential clients and future clients. And then too, setting up email and then learning the overall culture, which has been kind of, again, that's something that takes a little bit of time, but very much so an importance at the beginning. And again, it was a job well done.
So since you've joined Boldly, what has been the most surprising thing for you? Or has there been anything surprising?
There have been multiple surprising things. And I think first and foremost, I'd have to say that I'm consistently surprised on how joyful and helpful the Boldly team in general is. Literally every email, I feel like I'm greeted with a smile, which is, that how can you be greeted with a smile? But you can just tell there's a sense of happiness, and everyone loves what they do. And then everyone is extremely helpful. So from my amazing team lead to human resources. And then we have this huge access to all of our team members. So whenever we need to glean off of someone else's experience or knowledge, like we have that opportunity to do that. So that has been another, just the availability and helpfulness has been great. And then I also feel like, I know you probably asked for just 1 or 2, but I can keep going. I do feel like everything is done with intention, which I feel like is very important. So the processes are thought out, and it's very, very well thought processes and intentional, which I just think is fantastic.
Lastly, my last question for you before we hang up here is, for those who are out there listening who are thinking of joining Boldly, what advice would you have for somebody who's interested in joining our team?
Be authentic and be yourself. And I feel like just in general, any other company, we basically have been trained and taught to not bring any of our personal life in any form or fashion into an application or into an interview. But I feel like Boldly is totally different. And I didn't have to tiptoe around the fact that we are a military family, or that we are we have kids in the home that live active lifestyles.
Definitely. The remote workspace is so different than traditional office settings. We want to know about your life. We want to know what makes you you and why you want to work remotely. So that is spot on, excellent advice. Well, thank you so much, Angie, for joining us today. I know that everybody got a lot of information, all of those people out there who are interested in joining our team. This has been a great episode for them to watch, to learn more about our application process and our onboarding and getting started with new clients. So thank you for all the information that you shared.